Danny does a good job. He lets you know what's going on and doing it at a good price.
Danny does a lot in our community, so he's very involved and invested.
I recommend family, friends. Danny is spot on because he'll suggest what I need to do, and of course, I've never had an issue.
For quality care you can trust, visit Dr. Automotive in Smyrna. We've got the cure for your car.
Hey everybody, my name is Marcus Manise. I am the founder and executive director of Strong in My Father Youth and Family Services. Our organization is designed to help young men growing up in homes with our father have a better chance at a better life and a better opportunity. Our organization is preventative, so our goal is to prevent kids from going to jail, juvenile, but live out the purpose that God truly has designed for them. For all information on our organization, if you're looking for a mentorship program and your child is between grades 2nd through 9th, we encourage you to go to our website, stronginmyfather.org, for more information. Sign up to be a part of Stronger Sons Mentorship Program. And then we're hoping that this program continue to help your son live out the true dreams that God truly has designed for them.
AFFI is Middle Tennessee's premier choice for pest, wildlife, and moisture control. They specialize in those difficult and unique cases. You can reach them by phone at 615-300-2395. That's 615-300-2395. Or stop in at 200 Glenrose Lane in Smyrna.
Hey, Middle Tennessee, it's Mark from the Safe House. Can I have your attention, please? I have an important announcement. Our president has a backbone. Thank you, President Trump. We sleep better knowing our country is protected. And speaking of protection, criminals laugh when you purchase a fake safe from a big box store. There's no better time than now than to visit the Safe House and see what a real safe looks like. Rebates now through the end of July on select brands. Our brands include Liberty, Fort Knox, and Browning. Drop by one of our locations or go to NashvilleSafehouse.com. And remember, we don't just sell safes, we sell peace of mind.
My wife and I enjoy going by Yard Sale Inc. We usually go to both locations, the one in Smyrna as well as the one in Murfreesboro. A lot of times on Saturday mornings we stop by, and their inventory changes weekly, so you never know what you're going to see, and it's mostly open box. The name fits it. It's exactly that. It's a yard sale. If you don't totally agree with the price, the staff is always friendly and nice and willing to work with you.
That's the Yard Sale store in Smyrna at 111 Enon Springs Road West, in Murfreesboro at 204 South Front Street, and online at bestdealintown.com.
Hi, this is Allie Dowenhauer with Isaiah 117 House. Isaiah 117 House provides physical and emotional support for children awaiting foster care placement here in Rutherford County. We are changing the way foster care begins, and those kiddos are brought to our house to hang out and wait for a foster family, and they're given everything they need. We support foster children, DCS, and foster families here in Rutherford County. Visit us at www.isaiah117house.com or visit our Facebook page, Isaiah 117 House, Rutherford County.
When I say VFW, you probably have some visions of a smoke-filled bar with a bunch of old-timers eyeballing you. Well, the Stones River VFW is doing things different. No smoke-filled rooms, no turning prospective members away, and a strong emphasis on camaraderie and community. We believe in instilling our American values in our young people through numerous programs such as Voice of Democracy, Patriots Pen, Scout of the Year, and VFW Teacher of the Year. Stones River Post intends on becoming a driving force to help, aid, and assist wartime veterans. So if you're one of those veterans with a campaign medal and you want that sense of purpose that you've been missing, then give our recruiter, Andrew Farr, a call at 615-490-5715.
Hey, I'm Floyd, and I'm inviting you to join me at CR. That's Celebrate Recovery. We meet at Family Worship Center, 3045 Memorial Boulevard on Sunday at 6 p.m. We're a 12-step Christ-centered program that offers help for all the hurts, habits, and hang-ups that's causing you pain. The program works if you work it, and I'm proof. For other CR groups, go to CelebrateRecovery.com and click on the group finder. Hope to see you soon.
This is Conversations with Mike Sparks.
Are you concerned with the state of America, your state, your community? Then you're in the right place. State Representative Mike Sparks. He and guests are here to talk about local politics, history, faith, and freedom.
simple guy, know what I believe, know that I'll survive. If I don't get your approval, I'll still sleep good tonight. I'm gonna keep on being me. The scars and stripes say I'm free, thanks to some good old boys like my Uncle Sam. Step on a flag and then you'll see, gonna pay tax for your free speech. You found the fighting side of me, Mr. No Apology. You can love who you wanna love, that don't bother me. Go on and get you some. If you like boys, it leaves more girls for me. You can march with your little sign, say what you want, say what you like, but you're just wasting time trying to win my heart and mind. I'm gonna keep on being me. Stars and stripes.
Last night on there. All right, that's some JT Cooper for us. I hope it's okay to play that. I didn't even ask JT for permission. Isn't it better to ask for forgiveness and permission?
Oh, yeah. You do it all the time with your wife, don't you? I do that. Don't you?
Just
You do
do
that.
it.
I
Just
mean,
do
I hope
it.
our wives are not listening, but
like the Nike commercials, just do it. You know. But no, it's JT. You know, I was thinking last night. I was kind of chilling, and I was thinking about the power of music. You know, we was with Edith Moore, got to honor her, Marty Luffman and I, and Tony Campbell came. Tony brought Marty, and I was telling them about my Amazing Grace legislation, and then because I was at the little church, Ebenezer Primitive Baptist Church.
I wanted to go bad too, man. I had to work over, but I
Sweet
did want to
folks,
go.
man.
Yeah.
A lot of history over in cemetery community. A lot of people don't even know about it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's over by the battlefield. You know, we lost how many men over there, Jeremy? 24,000?
Yeah, something like that.
So about 24,000 men lost their lives to end slavery right here in our community, you know, and this is one of the major battles. You know, people right in where we're at and the courthouse lost folks. But anyways, got to honor Edith Moore for her historic preservation efforts. A lot of history in that little area. That little church, Ebenezer Baptist Church, sits off the road. Folks pass by it, probably don't think nothing about it, by the mini storage unit that's got the orange doors right there by the rock quarry, you know. That was on the battlefield property where the road is, where they've got it cut off. What was that, the old road name?
I don't know, but I heard you telling a story about them. They better move it. They got 1 week or something to move it.
Said they were going to burn it down.
Yeah.
The federal government told me they were going to burn it down.
Yeah.
And going to burn the church down. And he said they got some strong guys and some strong mules and a bunch of cedar posts and rolled that church where it's at today and bought it from the Horde family. I was asking how much it was. He thinks it was $150 or $200 for the lot. And you know, there's been there's future plans of expansion with Stones River Battlefield, and one day I'd like to see all that kind of incorporated with it, because a lot of these folks, man, are passing away.
Yeah, but that'd be so cool. You check the battlefield out, and there's that church, and it's either Edith Moore's, her family, and little home, their little home.
That
and
old shack.
They could tie it all in right there.
Yeah, her dad, her grandfather built it. He was the son of a slave and hand built that himself. A lot of people see it across from Gravel Pit, but I mean, it's going to be a very big challenge to try to save that. I mean, I don't know if you replicate it.
If they could just save
what.
the front part of it somehow, where he's got the arch he made out of that wagon wheel.
Yep.
That'd be that kind of sets it off.
Pettis Reed's the one that was I guess telling us that he knew what that was when he spotted it. He was like the wagon wheel. He used that as a form.
Right.
So it's pretty
and it's kind of being creative. So that'd be something, at least if it couldn't save nothing else.
Well,
save that as a monument.
Yeah.
You know.
The Frank Caperton. If it wasn't for Frank Caperton, who sadly passed away a few years ago, he's the one that put me in touch with Dr. George Smith, the first African American to be allowed doctor privileges at Rutherford County Hospital, and he's since passed.
And he was on the board at Sam Davis' home at one time.
Sam Davis' home. Yep, African American was on that board. But we're losing a lot of these folks, and with it, we lose a lot of history. But fortunately, it was Frank Caperton that led to the $250,000 grant I was able to get this year. So give God the glory for it. I like that scripture, Avery. 1 Corinthians verse 27 that God will use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the weak to shame the strong. So, anyways, shout out to $250,000 grant we were able to get. I'd be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to get hardly anything. But the Lord had his hand in that. But what we're going to talk about tonight, going to have a guest we're fixing to go into with Avery Kelleher, who lost his daughter to suicide. But before we go into that, which mental health seems to be on the rise with problems, we're seeing mental health issues among young people and even older people. I invited Bob Freeman. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. I invited him to come on the air or call in, but he said he just got through moving, and sadly his dad took his own life this last year around this time, and you just never know what people are battling. But you said you just got back from the Titans game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah, it was cold.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I got to see my grandson. I don't see him very often. He lives in Goodletts with us. I've got 5 grandkids and a great-granddaughter at 7. The great-granddaughter and a couple of the grandkids, I don't see him that often. But I got to sit with him, and he was talking about he's on a soccer team in Goodlettsville. He's high school. And
how many grandkids you have?
5.
5?
3, 2 girls, 3 boys, and I got a great-granddaughter. So it'll be 7
Great-granddaughter, wow. And grandkids will change your life, won't they?
Oh man, you know that. You know that. We've talked about that.
It's strange. It does something to your brain, doesn't it? When you have grandkids, man, you look at life differently. You
thinking, but here's how I look at it. You look at it like me. Yeah. When I had my kids, I was working hard, struggling, making ends meet.
Yeah.
And then when you retire and the grandkids come along, you got it together kind of, sort of, so you can kind of, I'm going to do to them what I didn't get to do for them.
Yeah, kind of spoil them.
Did you get your rules when your first one was born from the parents how to do it?
We break them all the time, man.
Well, I know. They tell us, you disagree with them when they're there, go,
We were driving around trick-or-treating the other day, and she didn't have no costume, so we were just driving, fixing to take them home, and I pulled up at a family. They had stuff out there and all kinds of balloons and, stuff. And my little granddaughter, she goes, trick or treat. And you go through the window, and the guy come over, and I said, you got the good stuff? And he looked at me like, so you got the good stuff, good candy. And he said, I got some M&Ms. And my wife goes, she can't have M&Ms. I said, but I can. So he gave me some, and I was while I'm driving, I'm like, hand them to her, one by one. And I don't think my son listens to the show. He'd probably be upset.
I made this statement the other day to Mike. I said, Mike, Gracie, with his oldest granddaughter, his granddaughter's now, I said, she'll probably be driving, because he messes with cars, she'll probably be driving a Ferrari in high school.
She's a little car girl. Yeah, she likes cars.
He'll hook her up,
She does. Well, before I lose a train of thought, shout out to Mechanics on a Mission. And, speaking of mental health, I think I've shared this a few times. This whole summer and the fall, I've been giving this nurse a ride to Eunice School up here. And
that's the way I went to go to my son's, too. They were still crowded on the Sunday.
Well, man, the traffic is terrible. Laverne all the way to Nashville is just bumper to bumper. But what it's taught me is I'm seeing a lot of reckless behavior on that area. I mean, I see it on I-24, but I just don't go Mercer Road hardly at all. But her car kept breaking down. That's the worst area to break down. We get her car fixed a few times. And I'm going to tell you, man, Tony Campbell, of all people, just happened to say, man, won't you get Mechanics on a Mission? Go over at Tire World, talk to Ryan Adams over at Tire World, Laverne. And I had them on the radio over a year ago. Just didn't dawn on me to call Mechanics on a Mission. And, she lost her son 17 years ago in a car accident. I had to be the one to call her. And my wife got to the ER. She was back here in the ER before she did. And my wife walked out with her, and she just turned I don't know if you call it like an ash color or something. And my wife looked at me and shook her head no. Then I watched the father, because all the teenagers were showing up in the parking lot of the hospital at Stonecrest. Remember this 17 years ago, it was my son's best friend. He was sound asleep, though. That I think it was a Friday night. One of the rare nights he was sound asleep. And but I seen the father pull up, and he goes, what's wrong? What's wrong? And Suzanne said, he's gone. And he was like, what? And he just collapsed on the asphalt. That's the first time I'd ever met him. But the boy hung out at our house a bunch, but the parents were divorced. And I remember just, putting my arm on the shoulder while he's on the asphalt. And I said, Lord, why am I seeing this? I'm not a pastor. I'm not a therapist. And you know, when you witness these things, it plays on you. But got to meet with THP this week about the, because I'm on finance, about the crime, what I'm seeing in Nashville, people driving in the center lane. You call Metro. You can't get them on the phone, 862-8600. You'll be on hold. You know, I had somebody bump me on Jefferson Street, tried to call them. It was at like the worst area, but my GPS routed me through there. And, I mean, I was at a market that a guy was murdered at, I think a month earlier.
Tony
and
pointed that stuff out.
I'm like, man, I don't need
man.
to be here, and I'm waiting on the police. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to write it off. It did do some damage to my bumper, but the whole moment was a learning moment. Driving her, that's what made me write Elon Musk and the Boring Company about a tunnel. I know it sounds kind of crazy. But then that's what led to John Bridges calling me about the story. It was just because he lives out that way. It was just so many things kind of come together. But anyways, had a good meeting with TDOC, brought up the fatherless rate that no one seems to talk about, man. I mean, you know, sometimes I think people don't want you to talk. Sometimes I think they want to keep it like it is, keep the system broken. Yeah. You know, we've got the highest incarceration rate on the face of the earth. Higher than Russia, higher than China, higher than, you know, you name it. You know, Uganda, Jamaica.
It wasn't always that way, though, was it?
No, but I'm like, and then you look at the correlation with the father. We have the highest fatherless rate, too. So it's like, there's nobody lobbying for this stuff. Yeah. You know? And also, I was on with Dr. Krause, kind of talk about some of these things, and I slipped up and used a bad word. I shouldn't do that. Sorry, Bart, if you're listening. You know, but I knew better, but I shouldn't have said anything. But anyways, these things matter, and I think, you know, we've got to get more people involved in the community to start speaking up.
But you know what's kind of coincidental? Yesterday, had two guys come, did a tour. Okay, I had to work yesterday.
Sam Dave's home.
Yeah. And you know what? Where one of them used to live?
Where?
That house you did the video on it. DeWitt Job. He lived in that house in the '60s. Last name was Harris.
Oh, really?
Lived in the '60s. Yeah, he was telling me the story about it. Where when the builder got it, that Walden Farms was trying to get the logs from it, and they had 2 weeks to do it. There was no way they could do it. You know, but somebody did try to save some of it, you know, the lumber, you know, the logs and stuff.
Well, John Moore's son, did you go to school with him, John Moore? John Moore is a distant relative. John's like 93.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember him at the little Moore's Market down there. I remember him down there. His parents owned it down there.
I think his
down there used to be by Right, where the Front Street sign is.
Oh, really? That's John's kinfolk?
Yeah, he used to work in there. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'm old, man.
Well, it was cool. It was cool to see John Bridges. You know, he asked me if I'd pick him up. Remember, he's retired engineer, designer with Aladdin. He designed a lot of those.
And we're going to get him to speak this year at your chili cook-off.
Remind me to do that. That award I want to do for him.
You got you.
You know, I want to do something special for him. I hadn't done that in many years. Yeah. But Jeremy, how's your week been? Everything good?
It's been great. I will say it's been a blur. Nothing bad's been going on.
Alabama won, so it's probably still a blur. I'm gonna say because since Alabama won,
they didn't play yesterday. We were on our bye week, but we did win.
But we lost, and you probably liked that, didn't you? Tennessee UT losing.
Oh yeah, I did see that one, and I enjoyed watching that one. So I was like, hey, yeah.
Now I'm pulling for Alabama. We need somebody in there, SEC, you know, but not getting off subject. But but go ahead, Jeremy.
I think the top four right now, it's Ohio State, Indiana, us, and who's number 2?
Well, Notre Dame's going to be number 1 because they're Notre Dame. You know that.
Oh,
they can lose 10 games. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Oh,
whatever
for sure. Absolutely.
They're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, why else?
Be getting some calls here in a little bit.
Well, I shouldn't share this on radio, but I run into a lawmaker today. Goes, hey man, you going to tour the Titan Stadium? You know, the stadium. You got a tour. I said, I don't think they've invited me. I didn't vote for that. I said, I don't vote for waste of money in government like that. $500 million.
Today you did
billion. Anyways, I don't mean to get on a rant about it.
I got you.
Anyways,
you're right,
Metro's going to crap, man.
Yeah, my daughter-in-law told me their property tax just got doubled. She got the bill and it was doubled.
Wow. Man, Metro's going to crap. And let me ask you, and I'm not trying to be hating on Titans. What has the Titans done to benefit families around here?
Oh, they got some merch out there. Wondered.
See, I was going to say something. Not a dang thing, but it's not a dang thing. They ain't done nothing to benefit the average person.
No,
the taxes are going
I
up.
know.
Business taxes are going up. They're running people out of Nashville.
Yeah.
And sadly, a lot of the rough people are moving to Laverne and Smyrna, and then our crime's going up.
Would you say that the bad outweighs the good, given families jobs who work at the Tides facility, the stadium and all that? Would you say that it outweighs?
I don't think the return's there. I mean, I don't think that's
I
wrong
don't
with
think it
government.
really is. But
I mean, this government's broken, man. Look at SNAP benefits are off right now. But man, if that goes on for another few weeks, brother, hey, we're gonna have some problems in this country. This country, $38 trillion in debt. $38 trillion. I wrote an op-ed, Avery, when it was $17 trillion. I wrote an op-ed about this like 15 years ago. That's how much it matters to me.
Right. It's over double now.
Oh, I mean, our grandkids aren't going to be able to pay for that. How are we going to pay back? And then these people that we owe money to, they're not our friends. So it's like, I mean, could you imagine borrowing from somebody you know hates you, and they're going to call the note one day?
Oh, yeah.
You're like, we may just foreclose or take your car, Roger. Anyways, I don't mean to get fired up about that kind of stuff.
He's going to get cussing again. Bart's going to call in.
I just see a lot of crap, man, in government. And government's not there for you, brother. I'm telling you. I've watched this crap. It's all. And Ben Franklin said something that has stuck with me. He said, when the citizens realize they can vote themselves money from the Treasury, that'll herald in the end of the Republic. That's what's going on. That's why you see the Titans had a bunch of lobbyists up there, man. Lobbying people. It's like the predatory lending and check into cash and advance finance.
Yeah,
And
I mean, it's the same thing.
Title Max. Anyways, I can't stand that crap because this stuff's going to start affecting our community. And these people, they're going to lose everything. I think they're a piece of crap. I mean, I can't use the language I want to use, but my dad instilled to me, don't borrow money. Stay out of debt. Stay out of debt. Because the debtor is slave to the lender, no doubt. Well, let's get into Avery. I know, mental health, sadly, is on the rise. And you just did an interview with ESPN, didn't you?
I did. I had the pleasure of doing that on Thursday.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little about your daughter. Was she 14?
She was 14. It was 8 days before her 15th birthday.
Okay.
She had all these plans. She was looking for colleges in big cities because she wanted to be in a big city. She just hopes, dreams, and visions for the future is what she had.
Yeah.
And to our dismay of finding her on September 12th and the heartbreak and the tragedy that's put our family through.
Yeah.
We had to find a purpose from
Amen.
it because
Amen.
God turns all things to His glory.
Yes.
And He spoke to me the day that she passed, and He said, we live for Riv.
Yeah.
And that's what we started moving towards, and we're fully 501c3 with the instruction of going out and teaching on mental health, suicide prevention, bullying, teaching on websites and apps that the kids use and how parents can learn them and put things in place.
Yeah. There's a book, it's the name escapes right now. I had legislation on this, just bringing awareness to what we're seeing, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, especially among females,
Yes.
Where have you, so far you've had an interview with ESPN. This is the first time you've been on another radio show.
Correct, yes.
So how'd you do the ESPN? Did you go to local studio or call in?
I actually have a friend that works there. He just started Handoff with Johnny Hand this past week, and he called me up spur of the moment and said he had an opening and if I could get there. So
Good.
I dropped everything and went.
Good for you.
Good.
Yep. Yep. And who's helped you start your nonprofit?
There's a ministry called 5-2 Ministries, which is a nonprofit that is designed to hear the visions that God has put on people's hearts, and then if led to help fund those and get those off the ground by covering the nonprofit and the legalities.
And what's the name of that group?
It's 5-2 Ministries.
5-2?
Yes.
And how'd you know about them?
I'm actually on the board with
Oh,
them.
you are?
I am.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
You're already on the board then?
I was already on the board, and then
Wow.
when the Lord spoke to me and said, we live for Riv, all I did was make a call to one of our lawyers, and everything was completed.
Wow, well, that's a blessing.
It was an absolute blessing.
You know,
the support from the community has been amazing.
So not just Winchester, the surrounding counties.
Correct.
Good,
Yes.
good. The I'm trying to look up for that. Trying to look up that book. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but there's no doubt the issues of mental health are rising. I mean, what do you think, Roger? I mean,
I don't know, man. It's like ours is three different kind of things. Okay, suicide. Chuck Isbell, son killed accident.
Yep.
Okay, car hit him, and mine was drugs. Okay. So as far as mental health, I can't really, I hadn't really got an answer for that, man.
Well, when Joanna came to me, who told you to reach out to me?
Yes.
I was telling Scott Walker, I was on with him Friday, but it's kind of, I see bad things and I see good things.
Yes.
Like Suzanne losing her son. It was about a month ago. She told me, she said, yeah, today's my son's birthday. She said, I didn't know if I should celebrate or what. And thoughts are going through my head, like, okay, should I go get her a birthday cake? I mean, like, what do you do? My wife's like, no, just let her talk and just listen, But it's that old hymn say you got to count your many blessings, name one by one,
Yes.
So how are you and your wife coping with this loss? The other day you had some music on. We were talking about music.
We keep worship music on nonstop throughout the house. Being in the house is painful because that's where it happened. Mm-hmm. I do want to touch on mental health in this sense that when we were younger, we would go to school. If there was a bully or we had a situation, we'd kind of muster up, and usually our parents would say, go fight it and fix it.
Yeah.
And we would go do that. But these kids nowadays, what they encounter goes well beyond the school setting. It goes onto the streets. It goes onto the internet. It's a continual, nonstop barrage that these guys deal with.
Yeah.
And when, in our situation, trying to find resources to help, we had to dig. And I don't want families to have to go through this.
So did you call the state department?
We called the state. We called the bullying prevention. We've called.
Was that the state initiative that you called?
I believe so, yes.
So when you say they didn't answer or didn't get response?
Just not knowing where to call, where to reach out to.
Okay.
It being, freshly hit with this, and people ask, how do you deal with it? Well, we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
It was placed in our laps, and we have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And we can choose to be reclusive.
So she was the youngest?
She was the youngest of 5.
Okay, the youngest. Right.
Like I said, dreams, goals, aspirations for the future. And what had happened in her case is she spent the evening of the 11th on TikTok and going into sharing depressional posts from other people, and she just embedded herself in that depression.
Yeah.
And then there was actually a post that's very scary, and if I can bring it up here, I'll let you read it so people know that I'm not making this up.
That book, by the way, is Jonathan Cahn, An Anxious Generation. We had a mental health meeting. I was telling you last year I done one at Motlow. I've done one a few years ago at Parkway Baptist, mental health and opioid crisis. It was well attended. We had about 110 people there. Both school superintendents were there, elected officials were there, mental health groups were there, county commissioners, had a judge, Barry Tidwell was there, and to have discussion.
Yes.
But I know that what came out of that, because one thing about you're always going to have Debbie Downers.
Absolutely.
Like we got one guy that I know. He's in my Rotary Club and doesn't practice the 4-way test. Dude's always on the internet, critical. Don't even live in our county. Always critical of the mayor, critical of whoever, critical of me, critical of whoever.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I know, and I'll be honest. I think he's got mental health problems.
Then when you approach him, and it's like,
he's so nice to your face.
Yeah, to your face.
Well, the thing that I
but
feel,
seriously, I think that's a mental health issue.
Absolutely.
Because if you go by and not to say you psychoanalyze, but that dude to be so caustic and negative, that's coming out of his heart and his spirit, and I think they have a void in their life,
right.
And they get on there. What do you call it, Jeremy? Armchair quarterbacks.
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors, you know.
Yeah.
And but that's what I'm saying. We're seeing mental health with adults too,
Right.
with social
it's
media
across the board.
You know.
Yes.
But I get
this is a post that was she shared that night.
Wow. Can I read it off?
Please do.
Here'd you show me? Wow, it's sad. Would I be hallucinating when the rope tightens around my neck, September 12th, 2025? So that means midnight. Wow.
That was one of the posts that she shared the night before she did it.
Now, how long ago was this?
September 12th, a month and a half ago.
I guarantee you, he does something every day, private to him, to honor her every day. He does something. I ain't gonna tell him. He knows. He probably knows what I'm really talking about.
You're talking about the guy that we know.
No, I'm talking about him. It's something you do when you got it's something you do every day. I do it every day. You feel like if you don't do it, you have to do something every day.
Because you
right. I do it. I've been doing it 5 years, and I guarantee you.
What's an example? What do you mean?
Well, I kissed a picture. There's a picture.
Oh, really? Okay.
Every day.
Am
I right?
This is her hair tie, and every night when I go to sleep, I kiss this.
That's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't know that. It's just something you just do. You know.
Well, I don't have any ideas for legislation yet, but I'm going to come up with something because I want you to come before the committee
Absolutely.
and speak. I sent a message to Dr. Brian Terry, who chairs Health Committee. I don't know if it would go before health or it'd go before education. It could go before both, you know. But the Anxious Generation bill that I ran, it's just trying to shed light on things, kind of like my fatherless resolution, mentorship, and like I was saying to DCS this year, because I'm also saying this to my lawmakers, that this falls on deaf ears.
Yes.
There's nobody lobbying for these issues. And that's why I'm saying government has really become disconnected from the average person today. And these are conservative issues. You know, it costs a lot to build prisons. You know, the county is going to be about $400 to $500 million to build a new jail.
I know, and a shame. Seemed like it
that means you're not going to build schools.
That seemed like it give the convicts, if you're a convict, I'm going to give you $10,000 to stay out of trouble for a year. It'd be a whole lot
$30,000.
Yeah, it'd be a whole lot
but
cheaper.
But see, most of that is drugs and alcohol and mental health. Because if you go back, if you really dig deep, and like Joanna's story, that childhood trauma many times leads to addiction, leads to alcoholism, leads to drug use. I just seen some homeless folks that I know them personally walking by over here, and you're seeing a rise of that. Go back and dig deep. There's probably something there that never got really answered, and that's where I was arguing with. Had a reporter reach out to me when Joanna's over my legislation, where you can go back and prosecute, and I was just saying, I want those victims to have access to therapy, counseling, and help, because a lot of people, like men, we don't talk about things. Like my friend's father that committed suicide. I don't know the details of what happened, but men just keep it to themselves and they just pull the trigger. Where women are more sociable.
It's a pride issue. I mean, look, if you find out that your child's having these problems, then you have to deal with it. And if you have to deal with it, you have to be vulnerable. And to be vulnerable is a sign of weakness to men.
Yeah.
And that's all a facade. The Bible says that when we're born again, we become new creations.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing people get born again, but live the same life they lived.
Yeah.
We need to educate, even these bullies and the keyboard warriors and all that. They need to understand who they are.
Yeah.
And when they can stand in the light of who God has made them. Like we were detached. I'm going to get faith-driven here.
Yeah.
We were detached from God when Adam sinned. And we lost that connection with the Father. And when Jesus died and we accept that, we gain that connection right back, and there's no separation. But we don't act like that. We don't walk that way. We worry, we fret, we do this and that, and we, God will you. No, God already did.
Yeah.
And when we walk in that, that's when we can start seeing change.
Yeah.
And that's what part of this is I want to, somebody said, well, what if Rivers was bullied? Well, that child that bullied, if in fact it happened, just doesn't know who they are. And it probably was a fatherless scenario that triggered it. And we can go back and it was this or that, but if you're born again, you're new.
Yeah.
all things have passed away.
Yes.
All things become new.
Yes.
And to get that through our mindset is literally what the Bible says a believer is, to change that mindset
Yeah.
and move forward. And that's the purpose of We Live for Riv, to train on these things before, to train on them after, to offer professionals that know this stuff. I don't know it. I'm
Yeah.
just experiencing it.
Exactly.
I'm just, my wife and family and I are going away the 6th through the 9th for a family grief session.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to learn a lot there. But when we come back, we've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to speaking to everybody.
Well, Bob Freeman, he texted me, said that he'd help anyway. You need help, because this ain't a Republican. Bob's Democrat, bless his heart. But he's got a good heart about it. I mean, there's people that do care about these issues. I haven't dealt with loss like Roger has or you have. My mother passed 3 years ago, and I wanted to tell you, this is the surprise I was wanting to tell you about, man. This is so cool because, my mother was like a holy roller in the Catholic Church, okay, because we grew up Catholic over at St. Rose, and she'd be raising her hands and be the only one. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And she'd go to tithe. We didn't have no money, but my mother would always tithe. I'm like, Mom, you need that money. And she'd tithe faithfully. Yes. And I watched, she drove an old Pinto. And I don't know why my stepdad would buy the junkiest cars, and they would blow up, the gas tank get hit. But it would quit or something. She'd start praying, and it'd start, or her windshield wipers would go out. She'd start praying in Jesus' name. All of a sudden, the wipers start working. So as a kid, I'm like, whoa, I'm like fascinated. So it kind of instilled a strong prayer life in my life. Yes. I mean, yeah, sometimes I'll slip up and use profanity. God forgive me. I try not to, pray for me, but the things I see, it makes me want to cuss. Right. It's hard. I even done it when I introduced the governor at my event. It got everybody's attention, though. I just what I like about this guy. He gives it DAMN. I said he cares about broken homes, cares about addiction, cares about those incarcerated, cares about the fathers. Who does that? But somebody gives it DAM. And I looked over at the governor. He started crying. He started crying. He got tears in his eyes. Right. But I had my Kurdish buddy there, and they're Muslim, but they're sweet people. But they had nowhere to go. They found freedom because Saddam Hussein was trying to kill him. I brought up what happened to John DeBerry. Democrats took John off the ballot, and then the governor hired him about a month later.
Yeah,
so I see negativity, but then I see good things.
Right.
It's like Joseph in the Bible. What his brothers meant for evil, God used it for good.
Absolutely.
But here's what I want to tell you. I know I've shared this on the radio. Because, you probably have some listeners that are, I'm not saying they're doubters, but with what you're going through, it's like, how does a loving God allow you to lose your daughter? Or how's a loving God allow Roger to lose his son? How's a loving God allow Suzanne to lose her son? Yes. I've never had to question that, but I tell you what I witnessed with my mom. She was in a nursing home for a year. We took care of her for almost 6 years, and it was just my mom, just mental health and problems, and my wife's as good as she could to her, providing 3 meals a day, and nursing home for a year. And I see where this lady passed away, Miss Tomlin. Okay, I knew Miss Tomlin since I was like 6 years old. Miss Tomlin's son married my stepsister, so I remember being at the little wedding at the Church of Christ over there, Highland Church of Christ, when I was a kid, and they had 2 kids together, Michael and Greg Tomlin, and I always consider them my nephews. I still do. I still pray for them every morning. And I seen on Facebook where Miss Tomlin had passed away. Jennifer had posted, Granny passed away. And this was about 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And so I always share that scripture, John 14:2, in my Father's house, many mansions. If it wasn't true, Jesus says, I'd tell you. Right. Which I think is kind of cool how he says that.
Exactly.
And so I'll just post that if I see somebody that's lost somebody. I'll try to just post it with the mansions, And so I go to my mom, but I put that scripture on Jennifer's Facebook, in my Father's house. So I go tell my mom at the nursing home, and I don't like to give my mom bad news or anything. And I said, Mom, just want to let you know, Miss Tomlin passed away. She probably hadn't seen Miss Tomlin in at least, I'd say 10 years or 8 years or something. She just hadn't seen her, And you know what my mom tells me?
What's that?
Man, tell me how cool this is. Okay. So if there's any statisticians or haters out there that want to debate the probability, okay, you could doubt the scriptures on it, But you got to believe in math. You got to believe in math. And so a mom says, that's strange. I had a dream about Miss Tomlin last night.
Wow.
She said, in the dream, I seen these 2 beautiful homes, big, beautiful mansions. My mom knew nothing about this scripture now. Seen these beautiful mansions, and they were under construction, which I thought was significant. And here's what she says that's really cool. She says, and Darlene was standing with her. What is so cool? Darlene was my stepsister, had been dead 12 years, and Miss Tomlin's daughter-in-law at one time.
Wow.
How do you explain that? I mean, what is the probability? 1 in a trillion, 1 in a billion, 1 in a million?
1 in infinity?
I offered to debate a stats professor I had. Not debate him. I really like this guy. Keith Claxton, great guy.
Debate him.
Well, I just was like, hey, man, come on the radio with me, and you tell me, I'm going to tell you these scenarios. You tell me the probability. He goes, man, Mike, you just got to accept it. Just accept it. And Ming Wang said the same thing. Who's an MIT graduate, gave sight to the blind. And then Dr. David Urban, Dean Emeritus, MTSU College of Business, has said the same thing. You just got to accept it, Mike. These are divine, and you don't want to overthink things. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. We're just passing through this world.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly. That's why it says faith is blind.
Yeah.
I mean, to believe, I don't have to see it.
Yeah.
The only thing, from excuse me to be raw, but from holding my dead, cold daughter to walking out, calling the cops, and then being in prayer, that only has to be the seeds that were planted prior.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I need my 4th kidney transplant.
Yeah.
And the last 2 years prior, I've been kind of like at odds with God. Always knew he was the answer, but I didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Why can't he heal me? Why didn't he heal me?
Yes.
Why doesn't he heal me?
Yeah.
So I was quiet. But then after finding my daughter, there's no other way that I can share this story without giving God honor.
Yes.
It was him that revived everything that he had put in me. It was him that grew this ministry. It's him that will get the glory
Amen.
From this and every story forward. And our goal is to snatch 1 million lives out of Satan's hands.
Yes.
And we're going wherever in the world he tells us to go. This ministry is absolutely free.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to have the excuse that, I couldn't afford to come out. You don't have to.
Yeah.
We pay for the artist. We pay for the venue. We pay for the mailers. We pay for everything.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we don't need financial support, but that's not what I'm here for. The point is we need to stop mental illness in its tracks. And if we know there's a problem and we do nothing for it, we're just part of the problem.
Yes. Let's take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to share an idea of somebody who I'm hoping is listening. He's a professor, brilliant guy. And he was recently on the Jimmy Fallon show on marketing. So I think he's listening. Hopefully he's listening. And when we come back, we're going to talk about him. Let's go to break, Connor.
Josh Moss with Affordable Heating and Cooling provides residential HVAC and duct cleaning services to the Middle Tennessee area. With more than 20 years of experience, Josh Moss and the AHC team provide 24/7 service and take care to ensure whatever work you need done is done in a professional, timely manner. Contact AHC at 615-745-1676. That's 615-745-1676. Or go to their website at affordableheatingandcoolingtn.com.
Most people know that their insurance can provide them with coverage for the many life's mishaps. But I can help you also unlock discounts, save money, and get benefits with Farmers Insurance Policy Perks. Whether we're discussing home or auto insurance, I am here to help you understand these great perks. Call me, Mark Lewis, at 615-625-7070 for a quote, and you can get a whole lot of something with Farmers Policy Perks.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Not available in every state. Only available select Farmers branded policies underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate.
Want a flawless look without the wait? Step into the Vanity Zone in Smyrna, where upscale style meets everyday convenience. Specializing in precision cuts, color services, waxing, and more for men, women, and kids. All delivered by highly trained stylists with an eye for detail. And don't miss the signature hot towel refresher, the perfect finishing touch that leaves you feeling clean, relaxed, and ready for anything. Walk in or book now the Vanity Zone in Smyrna. Looking your best is always in style.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
All right, we're back. We're talking with Avria Kelleher, who sadly lost your daughter, River. She was 14. She passed to suicide.
Yes.
And you've started a nonprofit and going to make a difference in this world with her, sadly, with her loss. And I like the card that you've got, turning pain into purpose.
Yes.
You know. But the one thing, like I had a woman call me, email me Thursday, and got to talk to her for a little bit. Her son, she's in bipolar, got incarcerated the other day, and I think I gave her the number of Volunteer Behavioral Health, gave her the number to Dr. Grandjean, Behavioral Health at MTSU. And the reason I mentioned Dr. Raj, and this is kind of an idea that I've had, and I need folks to kind of help me with it because I can only do so much, you know. And Raj was one of my last classes I needed to finish a second bachelor's in mass comm. And he's literally like a TikTok influencer.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrity. Okay. And that's why I ended up going off at the state capitol because I was trying to tell this story and somebody laughed.
Oh, man.
And and what happened, we had a suicide on campus. In all fairness to those lawmakers, I ended up dropping the worst word you can say. I mean, God forgive me, I should have done it. But I just said, y'all think a blank suicide's funny? You know, the whole committee. And so I don't ever want to see another blank suicide happen on our campus because we've had 2 suicides over there. And they made a news story about it. You know, it was pretty bad. But anyways, it was kind of weird because it really made the committee look bad because they weren't paying attention.
Right.
You know. But in all fairness to the lawmakers, I don't think I think they found that they started laughing because I mentioned Dr. Raj. We blocked TikTok. Okay, I don't do TikTok, nothing like that. But TikTok's a powerful tool to reach these young people. So Dr. Raj is TikTok celebrity, TikTok influencer. So he's got, I forgot how many millions of views on some videos.
Wow.
And he's got like, man, I've told Dr. McPhee may have 3,000 followers, and this guy's got 400,000 followers. I mean, he's more powerful than their entire marketing department.
Right.
I don't think they see it. I don't think the top brass really sees it. I see it, you know, and I don't even do TikTok, but the point I want to do with him, and I've got with Dr. Grandjean, and maybe you could help me, and the lady, Chera is her name, that called me the other day, in Volunteer Behavioral Health, is if Dr. Raj, who was on the Jimmy Fallon show, the marketing branding show he did recently, if he would just start telling stories with TikTok, just like how do you decompress, you know, and start interviewing these students. How do you decompress? How do you chill? I've been asking people this whole year or two, and the answers I get are it's really interesting. Some, like one said crochet, one said their pet, one said exercise, and then one said drinking. You know, they said they drink. I'm like, well, that's not where I'm wanting to go. But everybody has to have their outlet.
Yes.
Like, Roger, how did you find peace with the loss of your son?
Well, honestly, I was one of those guys that did a little bit of drinking.
Really?
To try to get over it. Yeah. A little bit, shortly. Yeah. And and then I seen the light. But my big thing is to not, you got to stay busy. You got to keep
stay busy.
Out. You got to stay busy.
Yeah, I've heard people say that.
You can't just, if you sit in your recliner and you think you're going to go crazy. I mean, you really will. But that's how I did it. Just stayed busy. I'm on and all that stuff doing this.
Oh, you're on
even doing this.
You're on the Historical Association board.
Yeah, and
then that SIMA art thing with Ron.
Yeah,
Allie.
Yeah, and like I said, I just like to do things. I just can't sit around and think about it. I'll get thinking about it if I'm by myself.
Well, when my mom died, I was, Amazing Grace was my legislation, making it the official state hymn, and people from the top of this. Got to meet with Priscilla Presley, Elvis's wife. It's pretty cool, last year. And shout out to Josh Cross, is the one he was like, hey, man, Priscilla Presley's up here. I'm like, dude, what now? He's Priscilla Presley.
Then he posted a picture all over his Facebook.
He's like, so I got to meet her. And, hey, growing up when I was a kid, all the movies she's in, man, she's just beautiful. Like almost as pretty as my wife of 36 years. Almost. And
good,
she's still an attractive lady. And so she was like, well, Graceland was already named Graceland. And she said that was her Elvis's favorite hymn. So I was playing it while my mom was dying with the bagpipes. So my mother was from Scotland, so I had my little iPad and playing it. And I just stepped back and watched because I could hear my mom's moans as she was in the hospice. We had her home. And my wife's caring for her, but I could hear her moans all the way at the end of the house. Wow. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if mom passes, is this going to still be here? It's just, my mind is wondering. And played it. It calmed her down. It calmed her breathing down, calmed her moans down. She passed the next day. And I never shed a tear. But I'll tell you what almost got me choked up. I got a text from state employees out of Memphis. It's about 40 black women. They shot a video. First, I just see one lady talking. She goes, Representative, sorry about your mom. You lost. We're praying for you. Then she pans her camera, and there's like 40 black women in a meeting, kind of waved. Now, that guy, I was like, oh, my gosh. That almost got to me right there. Mm-hmm. But my mother was ready to go. Your daughter wasn't ready to go, so it's a different paradigm.
Well, one of the things that I feel that the Lord has prepared, we ask why bad things happen, and I don't have an answer for that other than man's will. But I was in Delaware with Rivers, as a matter of fact, 3 months earlier, and my father, who was on dialysis, who had half a lung, who had this, that, and the other, passed while we were there. And we had that funeral. But I was able to witness him from an absolute pain laying in the bed to the peace on his face when he passed. Yes. And that was very helpful for me. I didn't shed a tear for my father except for when I spoke at the funeral.
How old was your dad?
He was 72.
Okay.
Still fairly young.
Yeah, it is.
And, Rivers got to see that.
I looked at Roger.
We witnessed that. The family came and we did the service. But like I said, being hit out of left field with Rivers, there's not even words. I still get choked up, and we'll continue to get choked up. And you asked how the family's doing. The family's doing okay. It's day by day. It's the only thing you can do.
Your wife, Lisa.
My wife, Lisa.
Is she listening?
She's probably listening as well. She has to basically get up, meet with our 21-year-old daughter, and go out for the day, which is fine, by all means.
Now, how's your youngest son, you said drove her to school?
My youngest son and her were both in high school. He would, in the morning you'd hear, Riv, come on, we got to go. And in the afternoon
I could
you'd
see
hear that.
him being the one that's going to have the toughest time.
Well, we told him that we didn't want him to drive to school until he was ready. Yeah. And then we let him go back to school. And we said, you're going to have an issue at some point when you're sitting in that car and she's not there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he was walking in school one day, 2 weeks after he went back, and he called and he's like, Dad, I can't do it. So we got him out of school, checked him out for that week, and he was sharing with us that when he was walking down the hall, she'd walk with him on occasion. Oh. And if she was on his right, he would say, get on my left. Or if she was on the left, he'd say, get on my right. He'd just, antagonize
what school
her.
They were at Franklin?
Franklin County High School, who is hosting this first event that we're doing.
Oh, good. So you've reached out to the superintendent, the principal?
Oh, yes. Everybody there we weren't alone in our house for 3 weeks.
Really?
When this happened. The Jewish have a thing called sitting Shiva, where when someone is mourning, you come and just be present.
Okay.
You don't really do anything. You do it if you need to, but you're basically
do y'all have many
just
Jewish people
there.
Not
Franklin? We have a couple.
Do you really?
Yes.
Okay.
But we just, and I don't even know if the congregants of our church and the people in the community know sitting Shiva.
Okay.
But they were just there.
Present.
And we had enough food. We're still not.
That helps more than don't it?
Yes, it does.
Really does.
We still have enough food that we don't
really?
need to eat. It's crazy.
Yeah. What about hobbies or for your kids? Are they taking up anything that's keeping them
My
busy,
youngest
like
son, he's a track star, and he just can't wait for track season to come and get out there.
Them into music?
My middle child just got an electric guitar, and he's trying to figure this out.
Guitar is really always a real good one. And Mike is a keytar. You seen the keytars? He's a keytar man.
Well, Jeremy here, he's a talented guy.
Jeremy is. He can sing, drum, and he can do anything. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, very nice.
But if I don't have a musical ability or anything.
Well, our oldest son...
My wife told me to quit clapping one day at church. I was off rhythm. Seriously, hurt my feelings.
I have trouble if I try to follow a clap. It doesn't work. My oldest son is getting ready to be 30, and he actually stepped in as the rock for all of the children.
Yeah.
And when he was empty in his house is when he called, and he was just sobbing. And, you know, I've expressed to them how grief works, and grief will have its way.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. And, you know, going to this counseling thing should help all of us.
You know, the Angela Bingham, I didn't realize, I was talking to somebody about her the other day, and was it either Pastor Jerry Whedon or it was David Settles. David Settles. David, shout out David for helping me on the school bus legislation.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I didn't realize I spoke at an event over here at the courthouse, and man, she can bust a rhyme out here. She was singing Amazing Grace, and what was so cool, talking about confirmation with my mom, I was playing Amazing Grace, and then 3 days later, my first grandbaby comes to the world, and named baby Grace.
Wow.
And
that is cool.
Nothing to do with him.
But it is cool.
Oh, I call it confirmation, because my mother used to tell me that when her mom died, she was so sad, and she said, then you were born like 3 weeks later, and it gave me hope, gave me peace, you know. And but hopefully, I don't know, Angela's out there. I hope she's listening. Can you see her?
She's out there.
Angela, you listening? She ain't listening.
No.
She ain't listening. But maybe she could, because she's a school teacher.
Oh, okay.
Maybe she could have you on the next few weeks. She's a sweetheart.
Sure.
She's super, super sweet. But we'll help you all we can. You and I will continue to talk and come up with, even if it's just me running another resolution, get you in front of the committee. You know, I'd say, hopefully every lawmaker is paying attention to this, you know, and you just got to continue to be out there and be present, like you mentioned, and for her. But yeah, we've got another minute. I'll let you have the last minute. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to plug this first event that we are doing. Again, it is absolutely free. November 13th, 2 weeks from now, at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Franklin County High School in Winchester, Tennessee, we are going to do a Rally for Riv parent meeting. This meeting will have a professional panel that deals with mental health, suicide prevention, and bullying. We'll teach on websites and applications that can help. We'll have a Q&A session. I'm getting tied up here. And we'll talk about upcoming trainings such as HOPE and QPR. I believe that's the acronym. And then 2 days after, at Cowan at South Middle School, November 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m., I'm going to share with the youth about mental health, suicide, and bullying. And then we are going into a full-fledged concert with Nashville Christian rap artist Quan Cole and DJ Rome, just to have an unwinding and celebration of life.
Yes.
The Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for anybody that is having issues is 988. We are not going to reinvent the wheel. It's already out there. Please use that if you're dealing with anything.
Yes.
And together, we can turn pain into purpose.
Amen. Folks, we'll catch up with you next week. Thank you, Connor.